Good day everyone. So first of all, thanks for clicking on the video. 2, don't make fun of my hat. I bought one of these about 5 years ago, and I always think they look stupid on me, so I don't wear them, but started wearing one about a year ago, and they're great, so you'll see more often. Keep the sun off my head. So I'm just trying to make sure I know where the trail is. One thing I appreciate is they are making it very obvious. Where's that tree? There it is. Making it very obvious on the trees where the trail is. I do appreciate that because there's been 2 or 3 places so far that there could be easily 2 paths, but follow those markers, you're good. Nice point of view though. All right, so one thing I do want to address is I did say, hold on. I did say I would not stop filming in summer, and 5 months later, here we are at the end of summer, and I haven't posted anything. It wasn't my intention. It is something I'm working on. I think that'll be next year's goal. But here we are. We're off on a hike with a little announcement. So I do want to address why I haven't filmed this summer. I feel like I have a pretty good excuse this year. So I've been training for a trek, if you saw the title of the video. And I did mention maybe 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I did want to lose about 20 pounds. Now, in preparation of the trek. So I'm down 16, happy to say that. And I pretty much stopped there. I mean, I feel good, feel lighter. My legs don't feel as heavy when I'm hiking now, so pretty happy with that. But I've been training for that, and I've been doing basically the same 2 trails over and over. There's 2 trails pretty close to my house. One of them is a circle that takes me about 3 hours. One of them is a small mountain. Takes me maybe 30 minutes, but I'll do it a few times, but nothing really worth filming. Nice little lookout again. Clearly a lot of beavers in this area. And the final reason, which I haven't been filming, I do get out less often in summer, you guys know that, but I actually had a kid in February, so that's been keeping me pretty busy, and I've been finding it a little hard to justify the solo overnights when I have a newborn at home. Okay, got our breath. One of the hardest things I found hiking alone, usually when I hike in a group, I'm not the slowest one, but I'm usually the last one in the group. So I just go at their pace, and I'm normally not out of breath. Now I'm going alone, so I kind of just go. And one of the learning curves has been pacing myself. Especially now I'm not used to walking, hiking, and talking to the camera. At least the view is nice. There you have it. I was going to talk here, but lighting is absolutely horrible. One of the fun parts about filming outdoors. I am going to start making my way back though, because the trail is about an 8 to 9 kilometer trail, but it's not a loop. So the sun being right there is a bit of a reality check. I don't know, 3 hours. I have a few hours. I have enough time to get back, but not if I try to do the whole trail. So I'm happy with what I did today. Did about half the trail, did a few of the lookout points, and I'll make my way back. Okay, so finally, sorry I didn't mean to drag this on the whole video. I was trying to talk about this at the summit, but I'd rather start making my way. So we are hiking Everest Base Camp mid-November, so about 6 weeks from now, about 5-6 weeks from when I post this video. And been wanting to do this for a while. Talk to you about why I wanted to do this and how I got the chance to do this. So first of all, I like to travel. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I do like to travel. In fact, a few times people have asked me and my wife, why don't we start a sort of travel vlog? And to be honest, we never considered, to be honest. I'd have a hard time enjoying the trip while trying to film content, basically. I'm also not very social and not really capable of filming in front of people. You know, say I gotta go to a restaurant or have to go somewhere, talk about something. Not really my thing, which is why I film alone in the woods. Pretty much true. I passed 2 or 3 people on this trail. Actually, I passed about 20 people on this trail, but I waited till it was calmer to start filming. And every time someone passes, I turn off the camera. So anyway, travel vlog is not my thing, but I do like to travel. So I had a colleague once who made the joke that somehow we were talking about Everest, and he made the joke that I would be the guy to go hike or go summit Mount Everest. And I laughed at him because that's nowhere on my radar. Nowhere on my radar. Respect to the people that do it, but nowhere on my radar. It's a whole other level. It's not even hiking at that point. It's actually mountaineering. It's a completely different sport. And he said that because he knows I like to travel, and he jokes about the fact that I like cold destinations. You know, I go to Iceland, Sweden, not necessarily cold, but if I'm traveling and I'm in a sweater, I'm very happy. He's from Florida, so in his mind, if you're on vacation, you're going to a beach, you know? So he made the joke, and later that day, I went home and I actually Googled it. I said, there must be something for tourists. And found out that there is a 14-day, 12 to 14 day, depending the trek you do, Everest Base Camp trek. And it's not exactly for tourists, but if you're into hiking and you want to travel, it seems pretty fun to me. So this is 2018, and I'm sorry, this trail is not flat, it's not straight at all. This is back in 2018, and I sort of looked into it. In 2019, I decided, you know what, I want to do this. 2019, I believe 2018, we went to Iceland and Japan. 2019, I lost the trail again, hold on. 2019, we went to Peru. I think Vancouver. I'm in Canada, but that's completely West Coast. And the reason why we never did that before is because tickets to fly, sorry I'm going way off topic right now, but tickets to fly within Canada are incredibly ridiculous. So there used to be a flight between Montreal and Vancouver, which is, yes, it's cross Canada, but you're still within Canada. Used to be at least $1,000, which I could go to Europe for $500 to $700 sometimes. That's on the low end, but still, I can cross the Atlantic for less, which is what we've usually done because, you know, go to Ireland, go to Scotland, Sweden, places like that sound much more, not necessarily funner, but different than staying in Canada, right? I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Yeah, we had Hawaii planned for 2020, which got canceled because of COVID. And I had planned, not necessarily planned it, but I had planned to plan it for 2021, Everest Base Camp trek. Ended up putting it on ice because of COVID. International flights were banned, all the restrictions. There was really uncertainty of when stuff would reopen. So I kind of put on ice, said forget this for now. And since then we've gone to other destinations, you know, when flying reopened. But I never really put that back on my radar. And the reason is, I always find an excuse not to do it. For instance, I just had a kid, so past year has kind of been off the agenda. And even now, I mean, it's kind of hard to leave home with him. You know, being newborn and all, right? But I did speak to my wife, and before we knew we were gonna have a kid, I said, you know what, we're gonna do this. I'll get into that a bit later, but we said we're gonna do this. If we happen to have a kid, do I do it alone? And that's why I'm doing it alone now, which I'm okay with. I think it'll be a good experience to do something like that alone. I've never actually done a solo trip at all. And the reason why I finally decided to do it is because of my employer. Now, they're the ones actually sending me, paying for everything. I have to supply maybe my spending cash on the mountain, which use money to recharge stuff, take a shower, food, whatnot. Actually, all my meals are included, but anything extra. But anyway, spending cash is on me. Everything else is being covered by my employer, which is pretty cool. What they did was they started this program basically asking everyone what their dream is. Now, I have to say I live pretty happy with my life. Like, I can't complain. But I do like to travel, so first thing for me was, where can I go? And how do I say this being modest? I promise I'm not rich or anything, but anywhere I want to travel, I feel like I can do. I'm privileged enough to say that, which I'm really thankful for. But this was the one place I sort of needed a little push to finally go do. So I wrote down that I would like to do Everest Base Camp, me and my wife, and that's what I wanted. And luckily they chose 3 people from my location, and I was one of them. 2 other people, I don't know what the third person is. The first person has something more personal, which I won't say here. It's none of anyone's business but his. I know what it is, but no need to tell everyone. So super happy for him. Mine was to travel. They did have some ground rules. You had to be there for a certain amount of years. There's some prerequisites, and there were some things they did not want people to do. Say, like, we're all mechanic. Well, most of us are mechanics, so no sports cars. Some of the guys wanted, their dream car and stuff like that. Even that, I have to say, I drive my dream car. I hate that I love it, but I drive a Jeep Wrangler. And if you want a reliable, fuel efficient, smooth ride, do not get a Jeep Wrangler. But anyway, that's the car I like, and that's the one I drive. I've had it for 13 years, and it's currently 13 years old. I bought it brand new. It's around the time where I'm looking to maybe upgrade it, maybe at the end of the year. But again, sorry, going off track again. I said I wanted to do this because it's something I've been wanting to do, something I feel like I wouldn't have pushed myself to do at this point, having a newborn. I probably wouldn't have gone, and I would have waited for him to be 18 years old or old enough to go with me. That's pretty much where I was mentally with that. But when I saw this opportunity, I said, something I should try to do. And I mean, he's newborn. It's not ideal to leave at this time for 2 weeks, but I wouldn't do it once he starts school and he's, 3, 4, 5 years old. I wouldn't do it when he's in grade school, high school. I feel like now would be the time, or when he's 18, and I'd be probably like 50 by then, so I'd be in my 50s by then. So I'm gonna do it now, and if he's into that stuff when he's older, I'll definitely go back with him. Been wanting to try a trek for a long time, and if I enjoy it, I do want to try to do one. I usually travel once or twice a year. COVID kind of slowed us down, but once or twice a year. If I can try to throw in a trek once every couple of years, I'd be pretty happy with that. And yeah, I think it's a good one to try on. I did meet my guide. There was a convention in Montreal with all the outdoor companies, and the guy who organizes the treks sent me a message, said, hey, your guide's gonna be here. It's a guy who's from Nepal, lived there his whole life. He told me either it's gonna be him who meets me at the airport or his brother. And he'll be with me the whole trek. It's gonna be a fun experience. Yeah, so sorry about the quality of this video and this video in general. It's pretty short, and I didn't really plan what I was gonna say. I just came out here and brought my camera with me. It's also to get me back in the rhythm of just filming. So I do appreciate the opportunity. I'm trying not to roll my ankles. That's one thing I have to say. I'm not nervous about being out of shape for this trek. I'm not nervous about much about this trek. I'm nervous about spraining my ankle like 2 weeks out. That would be the worst. So far so good. But I am appreciative of this. this opportunity. The funny thing is, when they announced it, they had a big meeting with everyone. They announced it. I actually wasn't there that day. I was actually traveling. I believe I was in South America. I think I was in Colombia at the time. So when I came back, I didn't think it was as big as they were making it seem to be. But the fact that they're sending me to Kathmandu and Everest, Nepal, that's pretty cool, and I'm not complaining. For the record, they don't know I have a YouTube channel. Like, it has nothing to do with that. They have no idea I do this and I'm going to film it. It was just, you know, sending everyone one person at a time ideally, and a few people so far have won trips to Disney. That was the biggest thing people requested, was a week sort of all-inclusive at Disney. So I think they got a package of like 6 tickets and sent 6 families. That was pretty cool. And no, again, happy they chose mine. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Sorry about the whole mess of this video. Nothing was in order, nothing was planned. I did bring a beer. It is Oktoberfest season right now. And this is Polliner. This is their Oktoberfest edition. And they make great beer. It's actually one of my friend's favorite breweries. They're from Germany, so you know the beer's good. I'm not going to drink it. I'm actually probably going to have it this weekend, but I'm not going to drink it because my car is parked maybe 20 minutes from here. I have about a 2-hour drive to get home, so I will put this aside. I won't be having it before I get in the car. But as I get closer to home, I might pass a brewery, and if they're still open, I might stop there. So thanks for watching, guys. I will be back with new videos later this month. I won't put a date on it, but expect new videos soon. And thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around till now, and very excited for that trek. Cheers, guys.